Hey guys, welcome back to the original Awesome family. I am so happy you guys were able to join me again today. For today's video, I have for you guys a very simple, everyday summer makeup look that I usually do. And this is something that you can twist and turn and make it into whatever you want. It's raining in Madison and I decided to do a summer makeup look. Why not? Anyways, this is really simple. You need 5 minutes max to finish this. I've tried to use the least number of products, less brushes, more of finger work. So this is the look that I came up with. Little contour, blush, just golden shimmery eyes, little cat eye makeup. What? Let's get started.
Hey guys, so at this point my skincare is already done and step number 1 is a primer. Here I'm taking the Ordinary's High Adherence Silicone Primer. I do not need any moisture or any dewiness. I just need a pore filling primer because I have some pores. So I'm going with this one. Also my skincare is on point, so I don't need any extra moisture or dewiness. My face becomes oily by 5 or 6 hours post makeup, so I like the natural sheen. Oh my god, okay, I'm really okay. Step number 2 is Milk Flex Foundation Stick and Sephora Pro Brush in number 70. I use the shade Golden Nude. I apply it like so and then buff it using the Sephora brush. It really buffs into the skin and you feel like you don't have anything on. Super light. This foundation has stood the test of time for me. I have used it winter, fall, spring, summer, and in every season. By the end of the day, it still looks beautiful. It doesn't crack on me. It has never made me break out. Looks stunning, and I think this will work for most skin tones. So if you're in the market for a nice foundation stick to invest in, I highly recommend this. It's definitely not for someone who's like an Estee Lauder Double Wear fan, but if you have younger skin, not a lot of coverage is needed, I think this foundation is going to be a good friend of yours. Third step is the concealer. Here I'm using the It Cosmetics Bye Bye Under Eye Creamy Concealer. I was not a big concealer believer, but I have noticed that it definitely makes a lot of difference. You need the littlest amount and it is very full coverage. Sometimes I just wear a concealer and buff it out. I do not bother putting foundation, and I think it works out pretty well. Here I'm putting it around the purples of my mouth, around my nose, under my eyes, and a little bit on my forehead for highlighting. And now onto the buffing game. Here we go. Ideally I would use another brush, like a tapered concealer brush, but here I just had this one, so I'm just using this to blend everything out, and eventually it'll all fall in place together. Next step is my favorite, and that is contouring. Here I'm using It Cosmetics double-ended contouring brush. I'm using Milk Makeup's Flex Foundation's darker shade, just a sampler that I got from Sephora, to try out my contouring with this, and so far it's been working really well. The formula is very smooth, so it blends in, and I like contouring, but like in a in a more delicate form, nothing too harsh, and so this works perfectly for that. I like to contour a little bit on my forehead, then along the bridge of my nose, along my cheekbones, and also on my jawline. The reason that I do it on my jawline is so I can hide all the double chin and all the extra tacos that I've been eating. Now I'm just going to buff the contour shade, and I'm going to buff it upwards because the whole point of contouring is to give the illusion of higher cheekbones. Now buffing the jawline, just so everything is the colors are seamless and there's no harsh edges. We want it to be smooth and natural. We don't want it to be very very stand out and very harsh. Now going to the nose. My nose is, as you know, it looks like a mushroom, an inverted mushroom if I'm being honest. So I like to contour a little bit just so there's a little more definition and it appears to be slimmer. Now contouring along my forehead. I have a smaller forehead, but I like for it to look bigger, so I just contour along the edges a little bit and then highlight in the center of my forehead. That way it looks bigger. Contouring done, the face looks well defined. Next, I'm going to be using M Cosmetics Serum Blush. This color is Soft Amethyst. I believe I love this because it has hyaluronic acid, which is very hydrating for the skin. You can reapply it a few times throughout the day. It does not mess with any of the powder products that you might layer, such as your setting powder, and if you're like baking and whatnot, this is not going to interfere with that. It's not going to break your foundation. It's very subtle and you can like build it a lot more. I usually layer it a few times to get my desired shade of color, because the first layer is too subtle and then I kind of go about 2 more times to get my desired shade. Sometimes if I feel like I overdid, I take my same foundation brush with the leftover foundation on it and dab it on the blush. That way we have the foundation, then we have the blush layer, and then we again have the slight foundation layer, and this gives it a very natural sheen. Next, I'm going to set my face using Laura Mercier's translucent powder and my Kat Von D brush. I usually like to set my under eye just so the concealer stays in place, because throughout the day the face gives a lot of sweat, and so this powder absorbs the sweat and you can keep on setting yourself throughout the day. However, I just do it early in the morning and then not again. I set both my under eyes, along my cheeks, a little bit on my forehead, given all the highlighting we did there, and just around my chin. For my eyes, I'm using this Sweet and Shimmer Brick from Ulta. This golden shade looks like so. For a higher end alternative, you can look at Natasha Denona's Mini Glam palette. I sweep this across my eyelid, both my eyelids actually. It's a shade you'll have in every palette. Next, I'm using NYX's Kohl pencil to line my upper and lower lash line. I'm also going to extend it a little bit along my lids and then try to blend that with my finger. I'm not trying to create a smoky look here, just merging the two shades. Moving on to my mascara, I'm going to be using two. Here's number 7 Intense Volume and the L'Oreal Voluminous. I've noticed that the number 7, which I'm applying here, gives me a lot of length. And then when I use the L'Oreal Voluminous, that gives me a lot of volume. So together they give me that, big lash wow voom effect. You can see these are not falsies but my real lashes. Moving on to lips, I'm using Huda Beauty's Demi Matte Liquid Lipstick in Mogul. This feels like leather and fades off very beautifully. Whenever I wear this, I'm always asked, what am I wearing? This is a peachy shade. It instantly brights up your face. The applicator is very well made, so you can kind of line your lips using this wand. And overall, I have no complaints. I go back to this liquid lipstick all the time. This is what we have achieved so far, but I'm not satisfied. Something is missing, guys. What is missing? I don't know. Oops. Maybe it's an eyeliner. I'm using the Bombs Swing Eyeliner and I'll be right back. There you go, guys. This is the complete result. Tell me what you think. Our soft 5-minute summer makeup tutorial, easily doable. Anybody can do this. This is what I do all the time. Stay safe, guys. Thank you so much for watching and always be awesome.